Here with head coach Erik Vance and Mr. Frank Barker. Coach Vance, we're in week 3. After 2 solid meets, you're going to go up to New Mexico this weekend. Talk about where we're going and how you feel about the first couple weeks.
Well, we're going to the big city of Las Vegas. Everybody's been quite jealous when I've told them that we're going to Las Vegas this weekend until I throw the New Mexico part in. But what's going to be really nice is they put on a really good meet there at New Mexico Highlands. Coach DeVries does a good job. I suppose they have a really nice course. Weather will be nice. You know, we'll get a little bit out of the West Texas weather, get a little bit of gain in elevation, and get an opportunity to challenge ourselves against probably one of the better D2 teams in the country as far as especially men's cross country goes. So it should be a good weekend. We're looking forward to it.
Absolutely. We had one of the first national polls released this week. The guys ended up at number 4. The girls cracked the top 10 at number 10. Can you kind of talk about that, what that means? I know coaches sometimes don't like to look at polls, but it's good to get some recognition.
Well, I don't mind looking at them. I don't mind if our kids look at them, especially it's a whole lot easier for us to look at a poll when you're ranked, you know, in the top 10 or in 4th or 5th, somewhere in there, versus being ranked first. You know, my first year here, we sat on the top of the cross country poll for probably the entirety of the year, if I remember right, and go up to nationals and get 3rd.
Yep.
And that was it's tough sometimes when you're at that position in those polls to really. The kids kind of sometimes read their own press clippings, and they kind of see that as an opportunity, like, oh, look at us. And it's hard to not say, oh, well, we're number one, we're number one. But when you're sitting at number 4, you're going, guys, we got to get better. We go up there, and we're not going to get anything if we're not going to get a trophy. We're not going to get anything if we go up there and stay right there. So it always kind of gives you something to chase, and knowing, you know, they do a really good job with our polls. It's just coaches, and it's a pretty thankless task. They work their tails off trying to get those polls done and put in a lot of extra hours doing those. So, you know, they are what they are. I'm not upset with where we're sitting, and at the end of the day, you know, it's fun to look at them. It's nice to see if you can see some movement in a positive direction, but none of it matters till you get to the national meet.
Absolutely. Coach Barker, seems like just yesterday we talked about, you know, the first meet, and you kind of talked about wanting to see those guys go out and compete. And here we are in week 3. How do you feel the work ethic and the improvement has come until this week?
Well, I'm real pleased with the guys. They're working, you know, the cliche is, and it's true, they're really working hard. The big thing is I see guys each week that are starting to kindly figure it out and know exactly what they need to put in and where they need to put it in, so that I tell them, I said, guys, this is just like if you have a job and you get a paycheck and you put it in the bank, and you keep putting it in the bank, and eventually you want to go buy something. And so when you go to buy it, you have to take part of that money out of the bank. Your workouts, you put in the bank. When you race, you take out. And these guys are learning how to put it in.
Absolutely. What are some of the things you expect to see this weekend? Talk about the course and where we're running, and, you know, some of the things you really want to see on Saturday.
Well, he's changed the course this year, because I noticed in his letter and everything that they moved it behind like an armory or something. It used to be out on a golf course. So as far as what it looks like, I have no idea. And that in itself is a challenge for me, because I kind of like to know a little bit going in before we go someplace. And like Coach Vance says, we're going to be running against one of the better D2 teams in the country. And I think it's going to be very competitive. I think our guys will make a good run at them, and they'll at least know for sure that we're there. It's going to be a great test for our top 4 women, because of just simply who we're running against. And they'll get to see everything else. And the reason I said top 4 is we're setting one out this weekend. She's nursing a few injuries, and felt like this is time that we need to sit back and let her get herself well, so when time comes, she'll be able to go.
Absolutely. Coach Vance, obviously it's not track and field season yet, but you did get some new hardware in yesterday. You got to pass them out to the kids. How was that? How was that for you?
You know, that's one of my absolute favorite days on the year. You know, it's not the national meet, but you know what? It's kind of fun to do that. It's fun to see those kids' faces light up. I mean, I don't think anybody lit up more than Coach Hobbs did. No. To have to, you know, work with us for a year and know what we could do, and you know, to see us get them and things like that. You know, I try to think of a better word, but jealous is probably about the word I can come up with. You know, it made him driven. He wanted one. So to see him light up and get that, and those kids light up, it's a lot of fun. You know, also it's a good motivational opportunity for all those freshmen to see that, and I know that our women, you know, to sit through 2 years of the guys getting rings and to not get one, they're hungry. Like they don't like that, and I understand that they're hungry and they want to get one, and it's a good opportunity to say, hey, we want to get that. We want to be the ones to get that. So you know, it's a good opportunity there. But more than anything, it's just fun to watch the reactions and see how excited to get something that they really worked hard for, and to get to have that, you know, tangible piece that they'll have forever.
Absolutely. Coach Barker, you probably got a safe full of those things now. Does it ever, dumb question, does it ever get old putting one of those on? And how does it motivate you to go get another one? It's like you got another one on your finger, now let's go get the next one.
Well, you know, it doesn't get old. First of all, you know, each one of them's a little bit different than the one in the past, but it's, once you get, the reason it doesn't get old is because you know you have accomplished something through those kids have worked hard to get it. They've made a goal. You know, the ones that coaches have 11 straight on them. I think that in itself is awful unique. If we go back and look at athletic programs throughout the United States, there's not another school that can claim they've had 11 national titles in a row at any level. And that's pretty unique. Does it make you hungry for more rings? Absolutely. You know, my wife told me, she said, well, you've got to get at least 2 more because, you know, when you pass the Great Divide, or however you want to put it, each one of those grandkids are going to want one. So you've got to have enough for them. so you got to keep going.
Absolutely. Coach Vance, any final thoughts on competing again this weekend?
No, we'll run 9:30. The women run, and then the men will run after that at about 10. You know, we want to thank you. You've done a really good job of writing recaps and keeping people up with what we're doing. We appreciate what you're doing for us to kind of keep cross country a little bit at the forefront. There's not a whole lot going on. People aren't, you know, it's Friday night football season and college football and things like that. But, you know, we appreciate you, you know, making sure that you get this out to our supporters and that they're aware of what we're doing, because cross country, we're always off somewhere else. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to necessarily follow it around, and sure not going to be televised. Wouldn't probably be that exciting unless you had a lot of cameras. You'd see them run off down the hill, and then you'd see them again when they get back. But we appreciate everyone's support, and we appreciate you helping us out with it.
Absolutely, Coach Barker. Anything like that?
I think that's good.
All right. Hey guys, thanks for joining us. Good luck Saturday, and we'll see you next week.
Sounds good.
Thanks.